Good morning. Today we are going to be talking about spiritual gifts. Last time we went over fruits of the Spirit, which are attributes of the Spirit of God and the attributes of God and the attributes that we ourselves begin to embody as we follow Christ and allow the Holy Spirit to do their work. Gifts of the Spirit are different, even though everybody kind of mixes them together and thinks that they are one and the same. Spiritual gifts, um in what is a spiritual gift? A spiritual gift is a God-given ability distributed to individual Christians by the Holy Spirit that allows him or her to work through their lives to help the church execute their mission on earth. So in Isaiah 11 2 to 3, it says, "And the Spirit of the Lord will rest on him meaning Jesus, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord." So Isaiah had already, because this is Old Testament, Isaiah was a prophet. He had foretold that these things were going to come through Jesus. And this is how people were going to recognize Jesus, because he was going to have these spiritual gifts. In First Corinthians, this after Jesus comes and after Jesus is crucified and resurrected, Paul is writing to the Corinthians to teach them how to service the church, how to continue on with what Jesus had started. So he says in chapter 12, verse 7 through 11, "A spiritual gift is given to each of us so we can help each other. To one person, the Spirit gives the ability to give wise advice. To another, the Spirit gives a message of special knowledge. The same Spirit gives great faith to another, and to someone else, the one Spirit gives the gift of healing. He gives one person the power to perform miracles, and another the ability to prophesy. He gives someone else the ability to discern whether a message is from the Spirit of God or another spirit. Still, another person is given the ability to speak in unknown languages, while another is given the ability to interpret what is being said. It is the one and only Holy Spirit who distributes all of these gifts. He alone decides which gift each person should have." So there's a couple of things in here. One, the Holy Spirit decides the spiritual gifts you get. Number two, everybody gets something because everybody has service to the church. And then, when it comes to spiritual gifts and things like this, a lot of people begin to talk about natural talents, like, oh, she can sing really well, or they do this really well, and they begin to think that that is the spiritual gift. No, those are just natural talents, and natural talents are physical abilities to do special things. Now, what the Holy Spirit will do is he will use natural talent as a vehicle for the gift that he's bestowed on you. Say we'll go back to singing. Say you have a natural talent for singing and the Holy Spirit places on you the gift of prophecy. He will weave your music with your prophetic messages. He will weave himself in your music, in your words, and things of that nature. And so that's kind of how natural talents and spiritual gifts work together. And that's why a lot of people think that when someone's extraordinarily good at something, that it's a spiritual gift. And that's actually like kind of downplaying the Holy Spirit for real. Like, you talk about somebody singing and he over here giving the gift of prophecy. But and then another example would be like athletes. An athlete might have the gift of might, the gift of fortitude, the gift of faith, like believe in never giving up, things like that. So then when you see that athlete break their leg and they're still playing two more quarters, or they tear ligaments in their shoulder and they're still playing five more innings, and you're like, how are they doing that? Oh, that's a spiritual gift. And they will tell you, like, it's not me, it's literally by the grace of God that I was able to continue. And that is that spiritual gift of might, fortitude, faith, being pushed through the Holy Spirit, by the Holy Spirit, into the activity that we're physically seeing. So remember that when you physically see something and it seems so extraordinary, it's probably the Holy Spirit using that to push a spiritual gift through. And that, if you open your eyes a little bit and be a little bit more discerning and look into the spirit a little bit more, you'll be able to look past the physical and see the great things that the Holy Spirit is doing, and see the great movements that God is doing in all of the things that go on. Not even just like superhuman feats, but even in the smallest of things. So with that being said, that is the beginning of what we're going to do with spiritual gifts.